Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. I've made a new pick a card read for you. What's the delay in your love life? Whether you're waiting for someone specific or whether you're just kind of single and things don't seem to be happening in your love life, what's the reason for the delay? Well, let's find out both on your part and on your person's part as well. Now, I've made 3 readings here. It's a timeless reading. Whenever you get into it, it's good. Each one of them has got a deeper dive. That's an extended reading that goes with it. If you find that it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that for even more. If you do, you'll get entered into a prize draw as well for a free reading with me at the end of the month. Each one of those that you purchase each month will get into a draw, as will clicking like on this video, being a subscriber to my channel, leaving a comment as well. That'll get you entered into another monthly draw for a free reading with me. But all you need to do now is take a pick. Which one would you like? Would you like the crystal? The crystal is out with the relax card. Would you like the flower, which is out with the release your blocks card? Or would you like the shell? And this shell is out with the focus on the positive card. Take a pick now. Don't forget to click like on this video before you click off. Click on that subscribe button if you're new. Leave a comment as well. You can find your timestamps to fast forward to your reading and the links for that deeper dive read in the comments and in the description box below as well. Let me know what you want these pick a card reads to be about in the future, and come along sometime to my live show Psychic Cafe. It's on 3 times a week and I give 1 question readings in there. Booking for one of those 1 question readings on my website BeHealing.com. I'll pop a link for it in the description box below and also one up there. You don't need to come live if you don't want to, because all of the pre-book readings I will do right at the start of the next live show. Send you the link to the replay. Alternatively, you can come live, join me live. Would love to have you in there so I'm not talking to myself when I'm in there. Well, crystal, flower or shell, take a pick now. I'll see you in your reading. If you chose the crystal and this one's for you, crystals, let's find out what the delay is in your love life. Whether you're waiting for someone, or if there's just like someone in particular and there's a delay, or if you're single and things seem to be stagnant, you're not moving forward with anything, nothing seems to be happening. Let's find out what it's all about. Now, as usual, crystals, there's a deeper dive that goes with this. There's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get straight into your reading and find out. Why the delay? Why the delay in your love life? Let's see. What's it all about? Why the delay in Crystal's love life, please? Why are things slow? Why things aren't happening? What's going on? Let's see. Follow the signs. Okay, now on a path to it. We're on a path to what it is that you want, Crystal, and you need to keep on following those signs. So on a journey to it. Perhaps your person is on a journey following those signs too. You're on your way to it. Now, if something hasn't manifested, we are still on the way to it, right? If it's in our heart and it's what we really want to experience, then we're still on our way to it. Just keep on following those signs. Patience. Oh no. Patience. Why the delay? We need more patience. We need to keep on this journey to it. Crystals. Flow and prudence. Let your worries drift away. Stop worrying about it. Just flow with it. Prudence. Don't be lured by the siren's song. So no settling, no going for what isn't quite right for you and all of that kind of thing. So I think you guys, you do know what it is that you want. You're on your way to it. It just hasn't manifested yet, but let's get more into it. Why the delay though? Why is it taking so long, guys? Why is it taking so long? We get it. We need patience. Keep on following those signs. Flow with it. Don't worry about it. And don't settle for anything less. We've got the Knight of Wands, exciting movement forward. I'll get the cards out before I read into it, because this one's slightly different, this reading this time. We've got the Four of Swords, which is the card of healing, rest, recuperation. King of Pentacles, a stable one. This is someone else's energy, stability. And we've got the Chariot as well, being pulled in 2 directions. So let's find out why we've got all of these out. What's this delay? So the Knight of Wands is like exciting movement forward. Oh, I don't know which one it is. They've fallen out in 2. So Queen of Materials, stability, Muse of Emotions is the King of Cups. So the stable queen, that's you, the King of Cups, the one that loves you. There's the Death along with the Page of Emotions there. So that's an ending of like a fantasy of perfection, or yeah, it is. It's a fantasy. So there needs to be an ending of a fantasy of perfection. The stable you with someone that loves you, but an ending of a fantasy of perfection. Yeah. So there's something here about you knowing what it is that you want. However, perhaps you've imagined perfection, whereas what we'll actually get is a human being, right? And it's saying, prudent, don't settle. But there is a need to end a certain perfectionism. Now, the Knight of Wands, it's quite a young kind of an energy, an exciting kind of an energy. So you might, okay, so the Queen of Materials, the stable one, the King of Cups, the one that will love you properly. But the Knight of Wands is like good looking and exciting, and all of those things, or like more superficial things. There is a needing to let go of, to end the fantasy about the Knight of Wands energy being involved in it too. So it could be about the looks or the excitement or something like that that might not come along with this. There's a definite there's omens, signs about that. You might have had signs about that too, that there's on your list of everything that you want, there's the deep things that are really important, and then there's some superficial things. And I'm not saying like you need to be with someone that you're not going to be attracted to, but I'm saying that there's a youthful energy about that, and that's maybe not the way that it's going to come in. There's a need for you to be more open here. Four of Swords, the card of healing, rest, relaxation, which of course comes after the Three of Swords, which is about the broken heart, broken heart from things in the past. But the Queen of Emotions, the Three of Emotions, being open to receive. So healing so that we can be open to receive. The Three of Emotions is around other people, from other people. Now, what I'm getting from this is there's a fine balance to be had, of being open to receive. If we're too open, for the likes of you and me, that can be a little bit overwhelming, right? Imagine like going into a place with a lot of people and a lot going on. We don't necessarily want that, right? But we don't want to hermit away either. There is this balance of openness where we're just open to certain numbers of groups of people or certain places, certain types of people in certain places. So there's healing in order to be open in a balanced way. Whether you have been trying to force yourself to be out there in a big way when you're not really comfortable, or whether you have been hiding away and not being open at all to new people. Three of Emotions is about people. And the Knight of Wands comes out again. So some of you might have been trying to force yourself into situations where these young ones with this exciting energy are, but it closes you down, or it takes you into an unbalanced state, and that's not where you should be. So rest up if you're putting yourself in places that you don't really fit in order to try and meet somebody, because that isn't going to work. So you can relax about it, is what this is saying, and just get yourself into your kind of balance of openness. What's behind that? In other words, don't try too hard. What's behind that? Forgiveness, forgiving yourself as well, for putting yourself in the places where you kind of don't belong. You see, we've got to be in alignment with ourselves, right? to know that we're choosing what's right for us. Like, I know for me, I wouldn't particularly want to be with someone, first up, who is a night owl. That wouldn't suit me. And someone that wants to be like out all the time amongst a lot of people, that would not be a good partner for me. And so if you're not yet being your right mix of being out there and comfortable, then you might not be ready for the one that is a perfect match to you, right? So the King of Pentacles is a stable one. Tell us about this King of Pentacles, the person that's right for you, the stable one. Tell us about this King of Pentacles. This is the partner to come. Three of Inspirations, waiting for the perfect timing for that. Queen of Voices. Now the Queen of Voices, you know what, can be divorced. They can be divorcee kind of an energy, waiting for the perfect timing. So I think your person perhaps isn't divorced yet. There could be breaking free of something there. So there's a timing aspect to this too. It's not just about your energy. Sure, you've got to get ready for it, but sometimes we're ready and we're still waiting on them to be ready. So what's behind that? Changes. So there's changes going on in your person's lives, the one that's headed for you. Or for those of you that kind of are in some kind of a connection, there's changes going on in their life. Something that they've got to rid themselves of. If it's not a divorce, because Queen of Voices can be like an ex-partner kind of feeling like they're wronged. Someone that they're divorcing, it can be. But King of Pentacles, getting stability, the waiting to make a change in their life, draw up a boundary, assert a boundary in their life. The Chariot, being pulled in two directions. Why are we being pulled in two directions? Or why are they being pulled in two directions? Yeah, it's probably them. Why are they being pulled in two directions? Because of the happily ever after, because of their heart's wishes. Okay, this is that. So these first cards are about us, our energy, your energy, crystals. This is about your person. Like, what's the delay with them? I like it, guys. Thank you for doing it this way. The Chariot, why are they pulled in two directions? Well, the Ten of Emotions, because the happily ever after, they might be in two minds about that. Like, what is the happily ever after? Or should they be advocating for their heart or stability instead? Or, you know, should be making more of a go of it? Or, you know, it feels a little bit like a midlife crisis kind of thing. Midlife crisis can be somebody getting to the point where they're like, my life isn't what I want it to be. It could be coming from a very, I'm aligned now, I know who I am, my life isn't what I want it to be, it can be better than this, I'm going to go for what it is that I want now, right? Or a midlife crisis could be a feeling of apathy and boredom, with not really any conscious, like, this isn't what I want of my life, just a boredom and a reaction to that boredom, right? And often when people make big changes, and when they're in the more mature years, people can judge them, or they can judge themselves as one of these, a reaction to boredom kind of a person, when they're not, when they're really, it's their heart calling out, going, I'm ready for the next level in life, to take it further, to go for my true happily ever after. And so, and then here's the thing, it's the people that have that level of consciousness and self-awareness, that ones that are questioning themselves, and they shouldn't be. And it's not the people that don't have their level of self-awareness that won't be questioning themselves. Oh, we're going, wait, no, I'm not going through a midlife crisis, I'm all good. But they're the ones that aren't good, right? And so it's often the wrong way around like this. It's always the self-aware people that are questioning themselves. So they're questioning themselves right now of whether they should go for what their heart desires, or are they just going through a midlife crisis or something like that. Oh, what's behind that? Ascension is raising the vibration. So at some point, I mean, the universe is going to guide them, of course, and their higher self is going to guide them. If they're asking that question, that they are right to do that. They're going to get confirmation of it, because that's what happens. They follow the signs, right? They're following the signs. Asking that question of themselves will lead them to signs of the universe saying, yes, it is right for you to follow your heart. So tell us more about this delay. So it's on both sides here, the delay. Definite Knight of Wands stuff going on with you, crystals, of there's something about the superficial or the youthful that you ain't gonna get. You're not gonna get it, you're asking for it. And perhaps it's something that you missed out on when you were younger, and that could be why you're asking for it. And so there's an element of healing there so that you can be open to what would actually be right for you. So yeah, try and heal your younger self that didn't have those things that you're kind of thinking that will be along with your partner that actually won't be. It's important right now to take a step back, spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now it's time to give to yourself. So keep on giving to yourself during this delayed time. Tell us more. The crystals, tell us more. Relax. Relax about it. It's okay. Just keep on following the signs. You're not like blocking it, you know. You're not in like, sometimes people can have that energy of just like completely blocking it. It's not going to manifest, you know, and you're not following the signs and all of that kind of thing. People can have that energy when I do a reading, but you haven't. You're following the signs. You're going with it. So it's all good. Tell us more. Healing, what? Healing heartbreak of what? Soul connection. So there's a soul connection, someone that you had a connection with, you're still heartbroken about that. Your heart is still wounded and afraid of getting heartbroken again with another soul connection. So someone that you're very close to, still some healing to do with your heart around that. We've got this bad attitude card out here, and you see how she's kind of throwing hearts away in the bin there. That's rejection. That's rejecting people, right? Saying no to people. So people perhaps approaching you and saying, no, I don't want that. And there's this feeling like perhaps you've got a bad attitude. Perhaps you should be saying yes to more people. Perhaps you shouldn't be so picky on all of this kind of thing. This is about not judging yourself for that. It's good to be very discerning. You're not throwing hearts away or breaking hearts kind of thing. It's good to choose what it is that you want. But again, in that too, there is this superficiality as well that I'm picking up on. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's coming up in this reading. So there's a kind of a bad attitude about you perhaps would reject this one because they don't have something, and you need to kind of get over that. And it's the Knight of Wands is your clue with that. There's luck and loss here as well. So luck, you've been lucky, but you have been lost. So there's been people in your love life. There's been people along the way on your relationship journeys, you know, from when we first start seeing people perhaps in the teenage years until now. You have been lucky, but you've also lost too. And everything that you've kind of been through has got you to this point now of knowing yourself and knowing what you truly want. So it's kind of, you have lost, but you've kind of been lucky too to get to the point that you're at now. Some people don't. Some people just stay stagnant and in the wrong relationships, or as I say, some people are completely blocking off manifesting what it is that they want because they won't do the inner work, or they won't kind of get themselves in alignment. They won't give up on like the wounding or something like that. We all know people like that, right? They just won't let go of the wounding. They won't heal for it. Like they stay as the victim and they dig their heels in. And those kind of people aren't manifesting it. But yeah, you've been lucky here. You're on your manifestation path. So got to keep following those signs and having patience. There are some changes, but it doesn't feel too far off. Well, let's find out in that deeper dive. So if you want more, if you want to come with me to that deeper dive read, if this sounds like it is your story, it could be a story, you might want to get that for even more. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now, the email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, junk, or promotions folder. Check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the crystal on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like. Before you click off down there, click that subscribe button if you're new, and leave a comment, because that'll get you an entry into that prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. As we'll get in that deeper dive read too, that'll get you an entry into the other draw to win one of those. So, but if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I will see you in there very shortly. If you chose the flower, then this one's for you. Flowers, let's find out, what's the delay in your love life? Let's see what it's all about, whether you're waiting for someone in particular or whether you're just kind of waiting for your person to come into your life. Why the delay? Now, as usual, flowers, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, wanted to be a story, you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I will be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So your cards are flying out, so let's find out what they are. What's this delay? What's it all about? The Noble One, doing the right thing, and bringer of change. Okay, so something needs to change, but the Noble One is the one that does the right thing. So you guys, you might be very aware of wanting to do the right thing, to be a good person. You're aware of your soul's responsibilities, or your responsibility to your soul. You're not just going to use any means whatsoever to manifest something. You know, because like some people, they don't care about the spirit or the soul or damage that they do to that, and they will just kind of, you know, do whatever it takes to get, you know, they'll trample over people or whatever, you know, cheat on people, just do whatever they want to get what it is that they want. Whereas you guys, you're coming across as being aware that the way that you want to live your life is to not do any damage to your soul, because you don't want to mess up your next lives and all of that kind of thing. You know, you're just coming across as more spiritually aware, and sure, you're going to be matching up with someone that's more spiritually aware as well. And so this could slow down things, because change comes around slower when you're the Noble One, right? So it could be slowing things down. You've got Catalyst. Oh, but the universe can step in to bring around that change. Interesting. I've never picked up on these energies before, but yeah, change happens slower if you are if there's just something that you won't do because your personal growth and spiritual well-being is important to you. And so that slows things down, but the universe will bring along a catalyst. Flow, don't worry about it. Let your worries drift away. So don't worry about the slowness or this apparent delay. Tell us more. What's this delay all about? The Five of Wands. It's about reaching higher, so wanting to do better for yourself. Yeah, you guys, you're on like a spiritual mission, first and foremost. Spiritually aware. Reaching higher, trying to do better, you know, better than you did last lifetime, better than you've done before. You're on this ascension path, but you know, better than you've done in past. Just trying to figure out, because you've got a lot of cards out. So Six of Cups is an element of the past in this, reminiscing. The Hermit card of doing your own thing, following your own path. And the Seven of Cups with the Tower. Not sure what your options are when things fall apart. Or this could be a person as well. Oh yeah, it could be a person. Right, okay. I'm just reminded. When I did the crystals reading, the first two cards were about you. The second two cards were about your person. So that's the way it is now too. So you are reaching higher. Five of Wands. Getting better and better in your life, getting not just the external, like getting more money or getting a better relationship, not just that, being better in yourself, like, you know, the healing path, and more in integrity, and, you know, being the Noble One. So reaching higher, this is your energy. Got something to do with delay. It's not that card. So it has you pulled in two directions. The Knight of Voices. You're less likely to jump into something. You're going to think about it first, right? So you take it slowly. Knight of Materials. The Nine of Inspiration, because you've been wounded before by just going into things and not thinking about it. So what this is saying is you're less likely to take impulsive action and get yourself into a relationship because you understand that you kind of healed yourself and you're not just going to get into anything. Perhaps your younger self, you're just kind of open, you're just open and just like presuming that everyone had a good heart and it was going to be a good experience for you. But now you are reaching higher, both in yourself and your own behaviors and other people too. And you're well aware that you don't want another healing journey. In other words, you don't want another relationship that knocks you down and causes more having to piece yourself back together again. So there's this slowness as a result that's in you, and a lack of, being ready to jump in. So with this Catalyst card, I think it's like more, because you've got this slow energy, and that's a good thing. I think the impetus is more on the universe to get things going instead of you. There's a truth behind that. So it's like to thine own self be true. Like you're true to yourself first, and you're not willing to compromise yourself to get into the relationship or get anything that you want in life, really. Just not willing to compromise yourself. That's how I am with my YouTube channel too. So I know how the algorithm works, but I want to do my readings in the way that helps people, not the way that helps the algorithm. It's hard, isn't it? Anyway, Six of Cups. Six of Cups. Past, the past energy, your past, Ace of Inspiration, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so passionate new starts in the past with fated connections, where there was a lot of passion there. You're reminiscing on that, and this is delaying things. Ace of Inspiration, it's the Ace of Wands, so it's a lot of passion when you were extremely attracted to somebody, and it was a fated connection too. So there was a relationship that you had that was a mix of soul connection plus a lot of attraction, and that is delaying you, could be delaying you. So you might be thinking, oh, it's going to be even better than that this time, even more attraction. Perhaps not. There's going to be more, it's going to be a better love connection, a better relationship, but perhaps they're not going to be hotter, more, it'd be that fiery, passionate a relationship too. So there's something that kind of needs to be worked out in your energy there with something from the past, a past soul connection, relationship. Perhaps perhaps there was just like a lot of attraction. You see, sometimes we can get less in relationships, right? And we can be really like that fiery, passionate energy can be with some people that we kind of clash with more. That can spark that sexual energy and that attractive energy more. Whereas like a more healthy relationship, it won't have that same clash, so it's not likely to have that same passion. And so it could be just kind of needing to get what it is that you're looking for kind of right in your head first. There's joy in a new day behind that. It'll be joyful. It can be joyful without that fiery, passionate arguing fight that leads to that very passionate energy. Do you know what I mean? It can be very joyful. So what you're looking for is a different kind of an energy than that one. It's not like going to be more than that one. It's going to be less in a way than that one, but more healthy. So you just need to be open to that. Now, what about their energy? The Hermit, they're by themselves at the moment, doing their own thing. Of course, your love match is going to be someone that's doing the right thing too, the Noble One too. The Hierophant, very traditional kind of a person. Spiritual lessons, Hermit, perhaps kind of hiding away and actually hermiting at the moment. Ace of, the Hermit again. So definitely that, but Ace of Voices, ready for kind of a new thought process, a new way of looking at things. I think your person is a thinker. I think that they perhaps meditate a lot or something like that, especially at the moment. Very aware of their spiritual lessons, but kind of ready for a new thought process is what I got. A new way of looking at things, a new thought process. I'm not really getting a readiness for a relationship with this, not yet anyway. Someone more concerned with their spiritual progress, of course. That is the kind of person that you're going to be attracting. There's going to be a match to you, I mean. What's behind that is a burden. Okay, so they're finding it quite heavy at the moment, their spiritual progress. So something big could have happened in their life and they're kind of hermiting away, because I'm definitely getting like the traditional sense of hermit, of, you know, they might be meditating a lot and just really keeping to themselves, and, you know, it could be on retreat kind of thing by themselves. I don't feel like they're on like a retreat. They could be traveling, they could be doing that kind of thing to find themselves, but very much alone right now and in pursuit of that, and it's heavy on them. So they could be struggling with something inside of themselves at the moment. Something fell apart, and then Seven of Cups, confused about the choices to make from that. Interesting. So they've had a recent big change in their life. Now they're on this spiritual mission. Has been changed, not them. Tell us about this. Six of Voices. Got to get themselves from A to B. Confused about their choices after something fell apart. Eight of Voices and feeling trapped. So they were feeling trapped, or they're feeling trapped at the moment. Repeating cycles, that kind of thing, and they've got to get out of that first. So your person's got some work to do yet, and they're well aware of it, and they're doing that, and it's an internal process. How interesting. So yeah, your person is very much in their own inner journey at the moment, after something's fallen apart in their life, left them with very confusing choices, but it's getting them to a place of unlimited possibilities. And they're in this hermit journey at the moment. Some of them might be traveling to find themselves, or that kind of thing, but it's going to lead to unlimited possibilities. So your person's got to go through this process before they'll be ready. We'll find out when that's going to be in the deep dive as well, and more about that process too. Wait. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. So you can't rush this. They can't rush this process either. They've got to go through that process. You got a bit to do too as well. Perhaps. Not really. I mean, you've got to realize that it's not going to be as fiery and passionate. It's not going to be more fiery and passionate than a clash kind of a relationship that you had. Release your blocks. This is for you. Release your blocks. Blocks to healthy relationship. I mean, that excitement, it is tempting, isn't it? But it generally does come along with those that are wrong for us rather than those that are right for us. Effort and freedom. Making an effort to break free of something. That's definitely what your person's doing at the moment. It feels like they've broken free of something physically, but they're going through the process of getting themselves out of repetitive patterns so that they can be different, choose different, be different. Yeah, be different. Perhaps relationships. It could have been a relationship that fell apart. But it doesn't have to be. It could be something else. It could be like, so it's something big though. Something big in their life changed. Oh, they went back in. Fear of inadequacy. Will they be good enough for you? Will you be good enough for them? Have I done enough yet? Have I learned enough yet? Neediness. Now, that's kind of complicated energy. Neediness. Okay, fear of inadequacy and neediness. We all need to be in a relationship. If we want to get into a relationship, then we've got relationship needs, right? We don't go into a relationship with no needs. We want to get into a relationship because we've got some needs. So that whole thing of two whole people coming into a relationship to have a healthy relationship, it's kind of true, but it kind of isn't too, because we've got to realize that we want something from someone else in order to be in a relationship. It's like in business, right? You can do everything yourself in business until you get to a certain point, and then you need to bring other people in. And it's when you realize that you've got a need to bring people in where you've like got to address this. I don't need to be it all anymore. So there could be something about needing to recognize that you do have needs. Yeah, to recognize that you do have needs, and that doesn't make you inadequate. Yeah, we should be in relationship with other people, right? But that requires us to realize that we can let someone take another role. They can take a role within our lives, and we don't need to be independent. So something to think on there as an adage. But that's what I've got for you. If that sounds like it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that deeper dive for even more. In that, I will go into more into their energies and see what's going on with them, but we'll get like guidance for you as well in all of this, and see where this relationship's headed as well, what the energies are between you, and of course when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. If you're interested in that, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. The email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, junk, or promotions folder. Do check in those places. In that email, you'll see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the flower on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like. Before you click off down there, click that subscribe button if you're new, and leave a comment, because that'll get you an entry into the prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. As we'll get in that deeper dive read as well, that'll get you an entry into the other draw for a free reading with me. So double the chance to win. But if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I'll see you in there very shortly. If you chose the shell and this one's for you, shells, let's find out what's the delay in your love life at the moment, whether you're waiting for someone specific or whether you're just kind of waiting for your person to come in. And there seems to be a delay, and it's not happening at the moment. So shells, as usual, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So shells, let's get straight into your reading and find out what's the delay. What's the delay for shells? Sorry, not crystals, shells. Hope. Okay. Needing to be perhaps more positive about this and be hopeful about it. Perhaps you're a little bit pessimistic at the moment, or your person is. Both of you are. Intuition and trust. Lack of trust. Okay. Trust issues. Trust issues that this is going to happen, and there could be a doubting of your intuition here, or not trusting of your intuition, because it kind of seems to have led you astray before. What I mean by that is sometimes on our relationship journey, as we're going along, we need the lessons along the way in order to learn like what we want in relationships, to learn about ourselves, learn about all kinds of different things. And so as we're on that relationship journey, if you're like me, pulling cards out and stuff like that, then the guides can tell us, yeah, this is the one for you and all of that kind of thing. And it's a lesson. It's not month or long term anyway, but it's the right one to give us a certain lesson. And that can be really disconcerting, because we're trying to prevent ourselves from having the lessons. We're trying to overcome those lessons. We're trying to get the one that's going to be the happily ever after. And also our intuition seems to be going wrong when we're told, yeah, this is the right one for you, this is your fated connection, and all of that kind of thing. So there could be an element of like being pessimistic about all of this, because you're kind of losing trust, perhaps in the guides even, yeah, and perhaps in readings. Right, because readings are about the energies right now, and if the guides want us to get into something because they're the right one to give us that piece of the puzzle, then they will pretend that they're a happily ever after for sure. You know, back in the past, I've had like almost perfect tarot readings from myself to say that this is the person. And then I've got like had readings from other people as well to confirm it. And it's like, yeah, they get the perfect reading out too. And it's like, And it wasn't true, but it was about the energies at the time. Strength, stay afloat and feel steady and calm. So try and keep keep yourself on the right side of positivity about all of this. Let's get cards out and find out more. First two cards are going to be about you. Second two cards are going to be about them. So what's delaying you? What's delaying them? What's delaying you? Knight of Cups, romance. What's delaying? I'll get deeper into this shortly. What's delaying shells? Happiness and Eight of Wands, direct communication about that. What will make you happy? Directly communicating about that. What about them? Temperance. The Emperor. So there's a bit of a delay of them stepping into divine masculine energy, whatever that means to them. That could be them taking control of something, them stepping up and like feeling really good about themselves, or even knowing what role they want within a relationship. To me, divine masculine, divine feminine, it's the people that are doing the work on themselves, that have a self-awareness, they're following those internal paths, those inner paths to the things that we want. And so it's an unfolding, it's a becoming aware of who we are and like how to be in true alignment with ourselves. And then when we come into relationships, it's like, well, I want a healthy relationship. Who do I need to be to get into a healthy relationship? And that whole journey could be taking them some time to do that. Then there's the Lovers and the Four of Swords. So healing from lovers, previous lovers. So they could be kind of battered a little bit, broken-hearted about their love life and still healing from previous love experiences or lack of love experiences. So what about you? Knight of Cups. Why have we got the Knight of Cups here? So why did the delay with you? Five of Materials in the Tower. Okay, the Knight of Cups. So people come towards you with romance and there's this no energy, I want to be alone, because things fall apart when I'm with someone else. So allow someone to romance me and things go wrong when I do that. If I allow someone to romance me, things go wrong. So perhaps your attention goes off other things that you should be attending to, like your work or your money or something like that. But it might not have been that. It might have just have been like you let someone in and they end up ripping you off, or it could be anything like that. So there's a definite aversion here of like things go wrong when someone romances. If I let someone into my life, things go wrong. So yeah, you do have an aversion here, and that's kind of what I was getting, is that you need to have more hope, especially with these two cards here of that. What was I saying? Yeah, not trusting your intuition, because your intuition has kind of done you dirty in the past, or the guides, the cards have done you dirty in the past, or that's what you feel. So you let someone in, you're a little bit afraid to let people in, is what this is saying. Let them romance you, because it's led to things falling apart or difficult lessons. It does. Struggle. So you're struggling with that, with becoming open to positivity, positive experiences in relationships instead of the negative ones that you've had. Now, one thing that you could do is to imagine what it would be like. Just imagine a really good relationship and start fantasizing about that and dreaming about that. What would that actually be like? What would it feel like? That's one way that could, and if you imagine that and you're like, yeah, I deserve that, that might make you feel more hopeful about having a positive experience in relationships. Eight of Wands and the Sun. What would make you happy? Eight of Wands. You need to be able to directly communicate that. So if you've had a lot of experiences in relationships that have made you unhappy, you might have been learning how to speak out about that. In other words, speak out about red flags that you see, speak out about behavior that you don't like, speak out about them not doing that anymore. And when you've got to put boundaries up and all of that kind of thing, you might have been learning how to speak out and speak up when there's things that you don't like. Now, this isn't that. This is, well, how take that you've learned and then apply it to how to speak out for what you do want, for the kind of behavior that you do want in a relationship. Not when someone's showing the opposite. I'm not saying like go out with someone that isn't what you want and then communicate how you want them to behave. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's an important path to go through, to be around those with the bad behavior that we don't want, to learn how to have boundaries to that, communicate those boundaries and all of that kind of thing. But what about practicing in relationships the positive aspect when they are doing good and you ask for what they want? So how could you get into that kind of an energy when you're not even in a relationship yet, or when you're in stagnancy in a relationship? Well, you can start to communicate what makes you happy just within yourself, and that can be like gratitude practice. So I love it when a plan works out. I love it when when people show up on time. You know, when something good happens, I love just start appreciating when things go right, and just get more in the habit of commenting, of speaking out when things are to you pleasing, when they're to your liking. We do have a negative slant as humans because we're trying to stay alive and we're trying to, you know, avoid those things that are killing us. And that can give us this negative focus. But if you train yourself, and you can train yourself to notice what is going right, that is going to help you. So when you're around people, you give them compliments, and you tell them how good they are and all of that. It's just getting into the habit of that, of saying like the good things. I know, you know, sometimes we can just be in like a critical state of mind, and we're always just pointing out what's wrong and what we don't like. But you need to turn that around. And that could be the delay. I mean, will the universe, if you're in like a negative state of mind like that and pointing out your criticisms all the time, will the universe bring in the right person for you? Will it risk it? Will it risk the right relationship for you when you're in that energy? No. Because you're going to push them away, right? They're going to be like, ouch. If they're a sensitive person, they'll be like, ooh, you're scary. You're just going to criticize me. Now, I'm not saying that you're hypercritical. Of course, in these readings, to be able to communicate, for me to be able to communicate these energies to you, I make it extreme. It might just be a little bit, you might just be a little bit negative, you know, because you might be watching this going, I'm not criticizing everyone, I do appreciate. But this is just saying, like, practice it more, practice communication of what makes you happy, what is making you happy right now. Do it all the time. One thing I love is that the power tools that they've been using outside of my room, they've started using them a little bit further away now. It makes me so happy. So the Queen of Emotions, so that you can be open. It softens you and makes you more open. Yeah. If we're criticizing, if we're only commenting on what we don't like instead of what we do like, it does harden us up and it makes us less open. So you can actually turn your energy around and make yourself more open by appreciating and saying what you do like. And like I said, that gets you into the habit, and people love it when you say what you do like, and you know, do. Inner journey. It's an inner journey first to open yourself up. And you know, when we're in that critical state of mind as well, a lot of the times we can be of the viewpoint of like, well, put something good in my life and then I'll appreciate it. But there is good in your life. Like I said, it could just be something like working out, like you're not spilling something, you know. It's like just, you know, we have lots and lots of things that work out each day. Anyway, let's go to your person here. The Emperor and Temperance. So they're taking the time, kind of becoming or taking the lead, or becoming that divine masculine, or like knowing what their place is and all of that kind of stuff. Well, we've got the Emperor and Temperance here. Whoa. Eight of Voices, trapped in pain. Yikes, 10 of Voices. Okay, so your person, the one that's headed toward you, is still very much in pain, choosing, or but perhaps not realizing how they're choosing, but still, yeah, in negative situations that are causing pain, seem to be trapped in that, don't seem to be taking the lead, not making good decisions for themselves. It could be a reluctance to just kind of say no and to make like bigger decisions for themselves. But yeah, stuck in pain, ascension, but they're learning from it. They are kind of raising themselves up. So this is someone that's not yet taking the lead, not yet comfortable enough in themselves that they can make like strong, big decisions for their life because they want to do it because it's good for them. They're not like taking the lead in that kind of way. And so they're still kind of stuck in a bit of pain cycle here. It seems like both of you perhaps are stuck in pain cycles still with these energies. The Lovers and the Four of Swords, so they're, yeah, look, Four of Swords again. So they are healing from like past relationships, from lovers, and perhaps still, they could still be in a painful love situation as well. Why is it here? Four of Swords, the Lovers. Give me the Lovers card again. 7 emotions, the choices that they've made, temperance, 2 materials. Okay, so yeah, still very much healing from relationships and how they've chosen those relationships. They're thinking about it a lot. How they chose those relationships. Temperance again. So this is not coming fast to them. The balance, like finding a balanced approach to all of this. I noticed sometimes in the divine masculine, in masculine energy, they can kind of expect to be able to have a balanced and healthy relationship with any woman kind of thing that they're attracted to. You know, the masculine can go solely rather than on, they can go solely on attraction, on physical attraction, and then kind of think, well, it should be able to work out, that relationship should be able to work out, where there's a lot more involved, a lot more involved than physical attraction, right? We need to be compatible, and we need to be choosing someone that's at a certain level of competency in their emotional stability and all of that kind of thing. There's a lot involved in choosing someone, and there's definite like energy here that they're having to recover because they've not yet like started to choose really wisely for themselves. There's like they need to start taking control and making good decisions for themselves, and so that's why they're delayed in coming into your life, because they're still not making good decisions for themselves. Something about abundance and about the home, decisions about all kinds of things. So they need to get into this new day energy, joy, abundance, home. Yeah, it could be about like where they live, for their happiness, and about their money too. So it's still not someone that's stepped into their power yet. You're waiting on your person to step into their power. Let's find out more. Why the delay? Why the delay for shells? Why the delay for shells? So it's pretty much saying you're both still in kind of negative circumstances at the moment, negative mindsets, and you're still kind of developing yourselves to choose better for yourself. Friendship, nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So at the moment, it's definitely time to be involved in friendships rather than be looking for your lover. Get practicing that positivity, not positivity really, it's just like appreciation of things, speaking more on what you like and what is working. Focus on the positive. See, it is not so much positivity though, it's more appreciation than positivity, because positivity can be false positivity, and we don't want to do that. You don't want to be making it up, like thanks for all of this money when you don't have any money. Like that's not a good way of doing it. But like I said, you can be thankful that something worked out. Like when I shuffled these cards, they didn't fall on the floor. I'm thankful for that, right? Because sometimes that happens and that is really annoying. But instead of being focused on the really annoying things, when I just comment on when they fall on the floor, I should be saying, they didn't fall on the floor, yay. Rather than saying, you know, things that just aren't true. Keep your heart open. So try and be open, try and be more positive about this and open. Like I said, you can train yourself with that appreciation and commenting more on what you do like and what is working out. What else? Control. Memories of control. You do have something here about when people come into your life romantically, that you kind of shut down. It's like, oh no, this is just like bringing bad things into my life. And so you might want to look back at perhaps when you were in controlling relationships and what that did to you, because you've got some healing to do around that. there's an aversion to someone coming in and kind of taking control. But, you know, if you think about a healthy relationship, what do you want the masculine to do? You want them to come in and take control, like take control of things, provide, you know, be the protector and all of those kind of things. You want them to have an element of control, but not like that bad control where they're trying to take power over you and push you around and stuff like that. So you could have an aversion to like a healthy masculine at the moment because of these control things. So look back in time. You've got trust issues, yes. Perhaps them too, hey? Yeah, probably them too. They're going through this healing. Trust lust. That's them, right? That's them. That's what I was getting. Is like they just picked someone that they're attracted to, thinking that they should be able to have a good relationship with everyone, and you can't. So there's trust issues in you too. Yeah. Needing to heal those trust issues, both of you. So if that sounds like it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that deeper dive for even more. Let's get deeper into these energies, get some advice for you, find out about this relationship between you both once it comes about, and how that might play out and how it's coming in and when as well. If you're interested in that, I'll pop a link for up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you won't receive it. Now the email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, junk or promotions folder. Do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the shell on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video. And when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like. Before you click off down there, click that subscribe button if you're new, and leave a comment, because that'll get you an entry into that prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. As we'll get in that deeper dive read as well, that'll get you an entry into the other prize draw, so 2 chances to win. But if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, I'll see you in there very shortly.